All right, good morning, everybody. I know I'm early this morning, and there's a reason for that. I got some personal things I need to try to take care of today, so I'm coming on early so I can get this done and get some things done. So today is Tuesday, January the 18th, 2022. Hope you all are having a great start to your day. I really had some things I wanted to throw at you guys this morning. It's going to be a little bit short, but I think it'll be good. So let's buckle up and get her done. Oh, please don't give me fits this morning. Please. Where are you at? There you are. Okay. Technology. Gotta love it. All right. Let's go ahead and hit the first article here. And we're talking about the end of the lockdowns. End of the lockdowns. Boris looks to scrap all sickness restrictions in March. So I read this article, and the prime minister, Boris Johnson's government is reportedly looking to abolish all remaining sickness restrictions by March, as they push to return to normalcy has gained traction amid steadily decreasing cases of the Chinese sickness. So later this month, the MP will gather to vote on an extension of the Plan B restrictions, which was put in place in November, despite the large rebellion within party lines against the government. The vote is set for January the 26th. So they have some of the most strict um, policies or mandates, whatever you want to call them, in the whole globe, really. And so now they're talking about if they lift these restrictions, they will be one of the leading countries out there in the world that will be free, I guess, in their I guess definition of free. So I think that's some hope for everybody in the UK. I think that's something to look forward to. Let's continue to pray on it, and just ask God to bless them and to allow them to have the knowledge to make the right choice. And I think that is the right choice. Lift the restrictions, get people back to work, get people back to their normal lives. All right, let's move on to the next headline here. This one here is pretty powerful. I know that we talk about it all the time. A lot of people are still waiting for the rainbows and unicorns to happen, but in my life, in my reality, I'm looking at movements like this because I think it's important to spotlight movements like this, because I think we're winning on all kinds of fronts. And to me, this is real life, so I want to pay attention to it. Republican led states move on Texas style pro-life measures. An Oklahoma state lawmaker is planning to introduce a Texas style pro life bill that would allow individuals to sue doctors who perform abortions that are not to save the life of the mother. Now, I am pro life. I'm proud to be pro life. I have no problem stating that anywhere, to be honest with you. I don't agree with abortions unless it's an absolute necessity to save the life of the mother. Um, so that's just that's my belief, and nothing will change that belief. So pro-life citizens of Oklahoma should have the ability to help hold these doctors accountable, and that's what we keep talking about. We need to hold our politicians accountable. We need to hold doctors accountable, because I think there are some of them out there that are definitely not doing the right thing. All right. Individual citizens are an extremely important part of making sure that we are protecting the lives of the unborn. So, in this article, I feel like they're trying to encourage you people to step up and to get involved at your local level, because it's you guys, it's us fighting this stuff that will truly make that difference. This legislation puts principle into action, and I am going to fight extremely hard to get it passed during the upcoming session. So, in the Tulsa World reported last week that Roberts said he is concerned about the number of women coming from Texas into Oklahoma to have abortions since they passed the Texas bill, which is the Heartbeat Act, Senate Bill number 8. They passed that in Texas and outlawed it. And so now people are just, they're leaving Texas to go get it done in other states that allow it to happen. This legislation is critical and must be passed this session to stem the tide of Texans seeking abortions in our state, quote Roberts. Uh, However, if the Supreme Court overturns Roe versus Wade in Dobbs versus Jackson's Woman Health Organization, a challenge to the Mississippi law that restricts abortion, Oklahoma could return to the state. Oklahoma could return to a state law that outlaws all abortions except to save the life of the mother. There's other governors and other states jumping on board with this. Oklahoma is one of many Republican led states seeking to mirror the basic principles. Listen, principles, not ideas, but principles of the Texas Heartbeat Act, since the Supreme Court allowed Texas law to remain in effect while lawsuits continue against it. So they're still fighting to get it back, but I don't think they're going to win this battle. Last week, during her State of the State address, South Dakota Governor Kristi Noem, Republican, called on her legislatures to pass a law banning abortion once a fetal heartbeat is detected. Now, I'm of the belief that life starts at conception, but at least this is some progress forward. Because the heartbeat of the baby can be found very, very early. And all three of my children, I went to the doctor the very first checkup to hear the heartbeat of all three of my children. And as a parent, I mean, how could you possibly think about doing this? This is absolutely disgusting. Florida Representative Anthony Sabiti, a Republican, became first Sunrise State lawmaker to publicly announce he would introduce the heartbeat bill when the new legislation session began in January of 2022. Now it goes on and talks about a whole lot more there, but again, folks, I pay attention to reality, and this is the reality for me right here. Is looking at some of the moves that are happening. 36 states stepping up that are going to require voter ID at the polls this November. That, for me, folks, is reality. That is things actually happening, things actually moving forward. And we have to join in this, and we got to hold these people's feet to the fire, hold them accountable. If they're not working out, if they're not doing the job we hired them for by voting, then we need to get them the hell out. And that's how we make change. That's how we make a difference here. Okay, let's move on to the next headline here. This one here, I talked about this. It was either yesterday or maybe it was late last week. But this is what I find very appalling, to be honest with you. Democrats' silence when Virginia Governor Glenn Youngkin says parents have fundamental right to raise their own children. So let's dive into this article. I read the whole thing, and it's just appalling to me. The Democrats, they're man. I'll just leave it there. Democrats in newly Republican Virginia General Assembly sat silently when Governor Glenn Youngkin, Republican, said parents have the fundamental right to make decisions with regard to their children's upbringing, education, and care. He was inaugurated on Saturday, delivered his first address to the joint session of the Virginia legislature on Monday, outlining goals for the Commonwealth as he begins his term in office. He went further to say, my message is to the parents, and is this: you have the fundamental right enshrined in law by the General Assembly to make decisions with regard to your children's upbringing, education, and care, and we will protect and reassert that right, end quote. Um, Kudos to the new governor of Virginia. I really like the fact that they're pushing this and that they're going to uphold parents' rights. And this is the first of many states that I think, with everyone waking up and realizing we've been asleep for a very long time, of parents, if you will just start getting involved in your school board meetings and have a voice and go to your state legislatures and have a voice, this is the kind of stuff that's going to continue to happen in a positive manner. This is peaceful. This isn't kinetic. This is you just using your voices. The paper and the pen is more powerful than you could ever imagine. All right, let's go on to the next headline here. We're going to talk about GM, and I'm talking about Maxwell. So Maxwell ends fight to keep 8 John Doe's secret. So Jeffrey Epstein, accomplice GM, will no longer fight to keep the names of 8 John Doe's secret, leaving it up to the court to decide whether or not to reveal their identities. They range from age 17 to 53, 54, 55, 73, 93. So, um, and one of them says 151. I wonder if that's if that's Joey there. Anyway, we talked about this after the court case was over. What was going to be the next step? Where was this going to lead to? It looks like she may be giving up some pretty big names. Who are those people? I don't know yet, but we're sure going to find out. So we're going to pay attention to that. It looks like they're no longer going to protect these people now that her court case is over. Is this her playing her last cards that she was dealt? I sure hope so. I hope she's playing them. I hope every one of these people are exposed for what they are. So let's move on. This one here is very frustrating for me. To all of our uh, minority brothers and sisters out there and Americans, to all our oh man, I just can't even believe some of this stuff spews out of these people's mouths. So in 2020, there was a video of old Puddin' Pop there saying that George F. That his death accomplished more than MLK's work, basically. On the campaign trail in June of 2020, President Joe Biden claimed that Martin Luther King Jr.'s death did not make as much of an impact as the death of GF. Um, Now I read through almost this entire article. Matter of fact, I read the whole article. The only point that I will make is this: I think LMK definitely had a profound effect. I think LMK was a true patriot, and he truly cared about civil rights. Now, remember, old Joey made statement last week that he got arrested during this time of MLK, and that was a lie. It was found to be false. He absolutely lied about it. MLK, he gave his life to civil rights. This guy, GF, total joke, criminal, absolute criminal. I don't think he had any impact other than being used to push an agenda for the left. That's all he did. So I guess my point was, where I was going with this was, obviously the times back in the 60s with MLK, we didn't have social media. We didn't have everything at our fingertips. There were no cell phones, no this, no that. Heck, we barely had TV. And so, yeah, I can see where GF's agenda that they used definitely went viral across the world, had a very big impact as far as reaching more people. But I think the messages weren't even close to being the same. And for him to even say something this foolish is total disrespect for LMK. And I, for one, am disgusted with him even putting those two people, one is a gentleman and the other is a criminal, even in the same sentence or even in the same world, to be honest with you. All right, let's move on to the next headline. Here's the bottom two headlines that was in the title. This one here is disturbing to me. Is anything going to become of it? I don't think so, but just something to pay attention to because these sick people really think this way. So a poll was done. Uh, I think, last week, and 59% of Democrats favor government confining unvacation Americans to their homes. So, what are they talking about, Mike? Well, a majority of Democrats would agree with the U.S. government taking more drastic sickness measures, such as confining unvacation Americans to their homes at all times except for emergencies. And this was a Ramsmanson report, and they did a survey and they asked quite a few people here what they thought. And listen to some of the things that they asked them, and listen to what they had to say in return. So the survey listed a series of potential sickness-related actions, gauging support for a series of penalties, including fines and stay-at-home orders, and this is all has to do with the purebloods, with people who don't agree, my body my choice. They don't agree with taking any kind of vacation. But I guess in this world we're not allowed to have that choice. And if our choice doesn't mirror your choice, then I guess we're supposed to all be locked up. But the funny thing is how would these people feel if the shoe was on the other foot? How would they feel if they were uh in my opinion, they are causing the disease. What if the purebloods didn't want to be around that? What if we wanted you to be locked up in your homes and never be able to come out? How would you feel about that? So the question was, would you strongly favor, somewhat oppose, or strongly oppose some of these questions that they asked? And they went on to say that they wanted the state governments require that citizens remain confined to their homes at all times except emergencies if they refuse the sickness vacation. Okay, that was what the question was asked, and then it even goes a little bit further that I want to get into. Media, television, social platforms, radio, people like me. So listen to this. While 61% of overall rejected the scenario, that's overall, they broke it up between Democrats and Republicans, and they found that the survey 59% of Democrats favor the government requiring unvacationed individuals to stay home all times, with exception only to emergencies. They also found that 35% of Democrats strongly favored the proposal. Another 55% of the Democrats said that they favor the government fining unvacation Americans, while 45% say that they would favor a proposal to limit the spread of the sickness by having federal and state governments require that citizens temporarily live in designated faculties. What does that mean? What does that mean when they say designated faculties? Well, that does not mean in your home. That means that they favor the government rounding people up and shipping them somewhere else. We'll just leave that there. Respondents were also asked if they supported or opposed a proposal for the federal or state governments to fine, listen to this, to fine or imprison individuals who publicly question the efficiency of the existing sickness vacations on social media, television, radio, or in online or digital publications. While a vast majority of Americans, 67%, said they opposed such a proposal, the Democrats remain split, with 48% supporting fining vacationed critics and 46 opposing. So they are also wanting to wear us down, which is not going to happen. I'm in this fight till the end, so I'm not going to stop. I'm going to keep putting out truth. I'm going to keep putting out information and my opinion. And I can tell you right now, there is no way I would ever accept, comply, consent to any kind of vacation in my body. And that's never going to change. So good luck on that, I guess. Round me up. Round me up. Do what you got to do. Anyway, that survey goes further, and I'll just kind of leave it there. You guys can check it out. Last headline hit of the day, I found interesting. So, did Joe go too far in trying to get Americans vacation? So there was a poll done, and Americans believe that President Joe Biden went too far trying to get Americans vacationed against the Chinese sickness. And this was from a CBS YouGov survey that they did. The survey asked respondents to reveal their thoughts um, of Biden's effort to get Americans vacationed. 40% said that he went too far, while 34% said he handled it about right, and 26% said that he didn't go far enough. You can't make this stuff up. So opinions are sharply divided along party lines, as 74% of Republicans said Biden went too far, and independents, 41%, held the same sentiment, although 54% of Democrats said he held it about right. Nearly a third of Democrats, however, said that he had not gone too far. So a third of your Democrats out there said he didn't go too far. The survey was taken in January of this year, the 12th through the 14th of this year, among 2,095 U.S. adults, and the rate of error was a negative 2.5%, which I have no idea what that means. I just thought I'd throw that in there because it sounded cool. So it comes on the heels of the Supreme Court's 6-3 blow against the Bidens. OSHA uh, vacation mandate, which would have effectively affected 84 million workers. So he, back in September of 2021, he made a statement where he said in the statement, "My patience is wearing thin." If you guys remember that, I remember hearing him say that, and I was just, I want to jump through the TV screen, to be honest with you. So anyway, that's the headline hits for today. I know that I'm running really early this morning. It's because I've got some major stuff I need to take care of personally, that's requiring my time. So I thought I'd hurry and get this done and put that out there. So thanks for joining us today, folks. Let's see, what's today? Today is Tuesday. So we will be back on later this evening, 8 Eastern, 7 Central, right here on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. Love y'all. Have a great day. God bless.